Hey again everybody, welcome back to another weekly vlog. Let's see what's been going on this week. So in terms of gaming, one of the biggest news was my my unboxing of the Final Fantasy X-10-2 HD remaster. I haven't actually had a whole lot of time to play since I did my unboxing, just because I've actually been having, and this is going off tangent a little bit, but I've been having a lot of problems with lower back pains, my tailbone specifically. I think I was having problems like sitting, and yeah, so I have to deal with that first because I can't actually sit in a chair properly. Like standing right now is okay, but this is one of those games where I want to sit for a while. And unfortunately, I'm not very good at like lying down and playing video games, so yeah, this is gonna have to happen soon. I spent a little bit of time, but most of the time I'm like walking around or standing, so hopefully hopefully I can play more of it. If you haven't checked out my my unboxing for it though, I highly recommend you do so, just so you can get an idea of what the collector's edition is like. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think of the game, if you've played it or if you haven't. And yeah, it's awesome, and it's just taunting me right now because of this. So let's hope I get to play more of it soon. Aside from that, other big news is I actually ended up getting a PlayStation Vita. I've been talking about getting one of these for a while now, and I was contemplating which model to get, and you guys were telling me get the 1000 model because of the OLED screen compared to the LCD screen, and when I looked into it more and I saw comparisons, I was like, whoa, yeah, I don't want that crappy screen. Like maybe some of you guys like your 2000 models, maybe you don't mind the quality comparison, but I noticed a distinct difference between the two, and I really don't need an extended battery life because I feel like the Vita has a really good battery life as is. So luckily I went to a local video game store here in Toronto called Iceman Games. It's in Kensington Market. There's another one opening up on Queen and Tecumseh, Queen and Bathurst-ish, and which is really exciting. And I found this. This is actually part of the Assassin's Creed, or Ass Creed, as I often like to call it, bundle. I'm not a big fan of Assassin's Creed, but I was very happy to know that you could get this by itself for about $165. Came with the cords and everything, and I was super pleased. And it doesn't have any like emblems on it or anything either. I was very happy. I thought it was gonna have like some Assassin's Creed emblem, but it didn't. So I went for it right away. A total impulse buy, not something I was anticipating, which probably wasn't a good thing. But with it, I ended up getting, of course, Persona 4 Golden. I went ahead and did it. I did it. I wish they actually had a guide for this though, because the guide I have, I read through it all. Well, the guide I have is really great. It doesn't include everything, you know, it's not the definitive version of the game. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm probably gonna have to go on GameFAQs. I can't really help that, you know, especially if I want to work on my S-links with the new character in the game and anything else the game has to offer. So I'll have to figure that out. Aside from that, my review for Atelier Esche and Lagi is gonna be releasing next week, probably next Friday, so I hope you're looking forward to that. I'm really excited to be able to play an Atelier game, and it's been pretty fun so far. I'm really enjoying it. Let's see, what else am I doing in terms of gaming, if there's any new content? I don't think so. I'm not going to have my Symphonia Chronicles review for a bit, and neither will I have 10-2 for a bit, because pretty big games, so we'll see how that goes. In terms of retro games, I feel like something happened. I guess nothing happened. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I don't remember. I feel like something did, but maybe not. One thing I will announce or mention, I suppose, and give a little bit of a shout out is to Pixelbit. I tend to be on Pixelbit's podcasts fairly often. These are a really awesome group of guys that invite me on all the time to talk about gaming, and I've done all kinds of podcasts with them, including the one that I mentioned some weeks past on Backloggers Anonymous, where we do kind of like a commentary of different games that are out, and we did one for Asura's Wrath, so that was really fun. They also have another podcast, Nerds Without Pants, where we just talk about different things and we have different themes and topics. And this week it was Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy. Not all things Final Fantasy, just Final Fantasy main series. But we talked about Final Fantasy. That went up on Friday, so I highly recommend you check that out. And yeah, we talked for like 3 hours or more about Final Fantasy, and I can't remember the last time I did that, probably since I was in high school. So it was really nice, and it was really great getting everybody's perspectives on the games and our favorite music and our favorite moments and characters and all that fun stuff. So I definitely recommend you check it out. I'm going to be linking to that below. And yeah, I think that's it for gaming. Now, in terms of anime, one big announcement I have that's coming up next week is my review for Shinsekai Yori, or From the New World. That review is going to be going up either Tuesday or Wednesday, just because I was actually hoping for it to go up on Friday, but then my unboxing happened and just the collector's edition happened, and I wanted it to be out in a timely fashion, so I figured I could push the anime review back. But this is a really important and amazing anime that you absolutely need to see if you're looking for something really thought-provoking, so I'm really hoping that you'll get to check that out. Let's see, what else? In terms of other stuff, Nagi no Asukara, that happens like all the time. This past Thursday's episode was amazing, and it had some really great moments. I had a really nice moment with Kaname and Sayu, and it gave them just a chance to shine, you know. And of course we have a lot of troubling moments with some characters too, like Chisaki, and her just not putting herself first. She just really needs to put herself first, and once she can do something like that, then I know she'll be so much happier. So, yeah, that is like the loudest plane ever. I'm sorry, guys. Obviously, you guys know how into this anime I am, and I'm so into it that I ended up getting a copy of Dengeki Dao, which is a really popular manga magazine, kind of like a Shonen Jump or Shoujo Beat or something, in Japan. And look at how big this thing is. Like, this is insane. It's funny because you see the pictures for it, it's like, oh, it's just a magazine. But then you see it's like a phone book. It's insane. You know, I can't actually, I can't read Japanese either, but this book actually makes it easier to read in Japanese as well, which makes it all the better. It makes it easier because, let me show you an example here. So, you see we have the kanji here. However, beside it you have like the little hiragana, and that breaks down the kanji. So, I know hiragana fairly well. I've taken a Japanese course in the past, like a pretty in-depth Japanese course, kind of like for night school. And, you know, I think I just need to refresh my memory a bit, and then I'll be able to start working on that and start reading up, right? But one of the main reasons why I wanted to get Dengeki Dao wasn't just because I want to try and collect as many Nagi-Asu stuff as I can, but also because it comes with this little key charm, like this little phone charm of Manaka. And it's actually just as cute as it looks there too. So it came in this little itty bitty box. So cute. And then I put it on my phone because why not? So here she is. Let's see if I can show her to you guys. Isn't she just adorable? Oh my god. Yeah, she's my favorite. She's swimming. She's swimming. Yeah, she's adorable. It's funny though, because I haven't seen any for any of the other characters from Nagi-Asu, so I'm really hoping that they release them. And I'm actually going to keep an eye out on Dengeki Dao because they've been supporting the anime or the manga or the series in general for a while now, so I'm sure they're going to have a lot more bonuses. There was another issue that was highlighting Nagi-Asu some months prior that is coming in the mail for me as well, thanks to J-List, which is a really great website for this kind of stuff. This issue I ended up getting from Hobby Search though, if you're looking for old issues of Dengeki Dao. So with that one, I think you get what looks like bookmarks and you get a poster. So there's a poster of Chisaki and Manaka that's going to go up there somewhere. Although I'm running out of space, so I don't know how that's going to happen. But we'll see. And in addition to that, the promotional poster for part 2 of Nagi Asu, this thing here, I'm actually going to be getting a really fancy poster of it. There's a really great seller on eBay who I'll link to below who has a huge variety of like really good quality B2 size posters for different animes, and I definitely recommend checking out his stuff because I was blown away, and there's a lot of stuff for Nagi Asu as well. I bought one of them, but there's one for a promotion for the Blu-ray DVD box set that came out. I'm sure they'll have one for each. And then they had a promo one for the first part of Nagi Asu. So definitely check that out if I don't get it before you. I don't think I will though. I can't afford too much more. But just, you know, a few things here and there. There's a lot going on in Japan with Nagi Asu. I'm really hoping we'll get some stuff here soon too, once the show's over. So yeah, let's see what else in terms of anime. We went over Shinsekai, we went over Nagi Asu. Gotta refresh my memory here. Oh yeah, I've been watching Higurashi no Nakukoro ni. I still need to look at that when I say it. Which is also known as When They Cry, which is actually a really bad translation. Once you find the meaning between all of it. But it's a really crazy mystery murder type anime. Like kind of I don't know, I don't want to give away too much, but that's the impression I'm getting from it so far. I'm only on the, like, I don't know, like episode, I don't even know where I'm at right now, but I've been watching it. I've been wanting to watch this for a while, and I'm really loving it. I did not, and I do not still, like the art style of this anime. And this has been noted several times with many other anime reviewers or YouTubers or all these people. It's very ugly. It's very, very ugly. I'm not a fan of the art style, and it's very quirky, and it tries to be very silly considering how serious the tone is. In contrast, that's kind of something that's interesting about the series, in that it tries to make itself look like some generic anime and then turns into something so much greater. Maybe that's what creates so much more impact for it, and maybe that's why people enjoy it so much and why people consider it to be one of the all-time best anime during this time, you know, this later period in anime. It's something that I am really amazed by, actually, and I've been following it, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really interested in uncovering the mystery. Aside from that, I've also been watching Now and Then Here and There, which was a really great anime from actually a long time ago. It's only 13 episodes, and it's very similar in scope as Shinsekai Yori, at least in the very realistic dystopian sense. And Shinsekai Yori was actually the main motivation to watching this finally. I remember getting issues of Animerica when I was 13, 14 years old and seeing ads for this, and only now just getting into it, and I see exactly why it's considered such a classic. So I'm really impressed with it, and it's definitely something you should be checking out too. So I'll make sure to link to those below. There's really no good place to stream these, so I do it any way I can, right? So I mean, if you have any suggestions, you can do that, but I use Kiss Anime, so unfortunately I can't support them any other way, but I can at least support the fan subs. So yeah, I think that's it for anime. Been a busy week. As for YouTube, there hasn't been nearly as much going on. I'm kind of in a standstill right now. Like I was talking about last week, my perler beads that I was ordering, and I'm still waiting for those in the mail, so I can't really open up my perler shop until I have those, since I have like 0 whites and only a few blacks left, like less than 500, which is not a lot considering how many I need. Rice Digital this past Thursday, because every Thursday they're going to be showcasing one of my videos a week. They're showcasing my top 5 JRPGs on the Super Nintendo. This was a really important video for me, and one where I just kind of went all out. I don't script those kinds of videos, so if I seem a little bit haphazard in the way I talk about things, it's because I'm trying to assess all of my emotions all at the same time. But I think it was a really fun video, and it really showed my passion for the system, in addition to other systems that I had featured before, like the PlayStation 1, the PSP, and the PS3. So this gave me a thought, what exactly am I going to be doing next? Because a lot of you have been suggesting, you know, like, are you going to be doing the GBA? Are you going to be doing GameCube or PS2? I think I'm going to go with PS2. I'll have a top 10 of my PS2 JRPGs just because there are so many. There are so many, and I have so many I need to give shout outs to, so many. So that might take a little while. Please be patient with that. Game Boy Advance will be coming soon too, as well as GameCube. So please stay tuned for those too, but these take a while. Really assessing these games and everything, it takes a while. I can come up with, you know, very decisive lists, but that doesn't stop it from being a challenging challenging thing, right? So I'm going to take the time to look into that and figure out what would work best. But yeah, so Rice Digital, check them out if you haven't. If you're interested in keeping up to date with the latest Japanese games, they have a really awesome editorial news section, and they distribute really cool niche games, whether we're talking, you know, Japanese niche fighting games, shoot 'em ups, bullet hells, or visual novels, or whatever, yeah, what have you. So I guess we'll move on to YouTube shoutouts. So this week I'm giving YouTube shoutouts to 8-Bit Duke, who is really good, like, he has a knack for finding the nostalgia in gaming, and something I really appreciate, whether old or new. We have Josh Garado, who does some really amazing piano covers. And we have Kenenz, who is, has probably the cutest voice ever. Let's just say that. In terms of Patreon shoutouts, I want to give a shout out to Matt Grady for pledging to my campaign. I very much appreciate it. I appreciate all the help I get from any of you, whether that's just promoting my Patreon campaign, whether that's just watching my videos, whether that means pledging. It can be a lot of things, right? No, I want to give back as well, and I always try to if I can. But some of the ones that I want to give a big shout out to are 3 Kilobytes, who just started their own Patreon page. If you haven't checked out 3 Kilobytes videos, they have really great videos on gaming and films. They're based here in Canada. I want to support them. I want to support them as much as I can. They've been doing this for a while. They are established, and they are very professional about the things they do, and they're very passionate about the things they do. I would definitely recommend checking out their YouTube channel. I'll be sure to link to that below. And if you can, you know, support their campaign too, if possible. I know I did. I did the same thing with another really great YouTuber, Bizarre Jelly. She has some really great anime reviews and just figurine recaps and unboxings and things like that. So she has a really great channel, and she has really, like, a lot of know-how in terms of anime. So for me, it was a no-brainer, considering she's been a big inspiration. And if you are watching this, Ebby, I just want to thank you so much for being such an inspiration, especially in terms of me finally going out and expanding my anime section on my channel. I really appreciate that. Another thing I want to mention is I actually made my first donation, which I'm really happy I was able to, for a charity of choice, and that charity is the Ontario Association of Suicide Prevention. It's a really important cause, and it's something that I feel like a lot of us have gotten a pretty bad dose of, especially with the death of Jew Wario. It's something that a lot of people are dealing with in the world, and I know even when I was younger, I was dealing with a lot of depressive thoughts as well, and a lot of not so much suicidal, but I knew people who were in an even worse state than I was when I was younger, and I don't want anyone to feel that way. I want everyone to feel like they're loved and to be happy and comfortable in their own skin, and not feel like that's the only way out, because there is a solution. There's a lot more you can do, and there is an answer, and it doesn't necessarily have to be death. Right, so I mentioned in my Patreon that I was going to be giving donations once a month to different charities or different organizations, and this was one of them. It was a no-brainer for me, and it was something that I really want to do, and it hit me on a very personal level. So I really, I suggest you do the same if you have a loved one, a friend of some sort, or just if you care about the issue and you want it to change. You know, you can't change the world, but you can do it one step at a time, you know, and that's better than anything you could possibly do in life, is to at least try, right? So for me, this was really important to do, and it was very emotional. It was really emotional, but I'm glad I can help an organization like it. Aside from that, I think that's it for YouTube. So yeah, that's it for this week. I really hope you enjoyed this weekly vlog, and I hope you tune in again soon. I guess next week, next Sunday. I'll see y'all later. Okay, peace.